Hey, folks, made a post a little while ago, it was quite a while ago, about thrift stores, what we understand to be, secondhand stores. A lot of them, I guess some of them, you got your Salvation Army and Goodwill and different kind of, it's like a secondhand store. You can get stuff that people generally, not that maybe it doesn't fit them anymore, or they're just tired of it and they just donate it, and they put it up, and you can go through it and look at different people's other stuff that they used to have, make it your own, and it costs fractions of what you can order it for new. Um, you think that these mail-in delivery services are a bargain. They may not be such a bargain when you think about it. Um, so I'm calling it, but the bodacious Blu-ray Bonanza 2.21 redux edition. Now, what I found recently, sadly, at this holiday time of the year, one of the two thrift stores I used to frequent, the larger of the two, no longer has the 15 or 30, 25 or 30 people that seem to work there off and on. I see in the window now it says this space for lease. I looked through the window. I got close to it the other day. And it seems as though it's empty. There's nothing inside. So those people that used to work there, hopefully at this time of the year, when the season of giving and celebration, that they can share with their families this celebrative time of the year, um, but not from working in that particular place, because for whatever reason, and I think everybody's familiar with it, was something on the news recently about a kind of an ailment or a malady that people contract or get or something, and then you can't run a business, something on that order, where you don't really get to run a particular business or anything. Anyhow, the other one, there were two that I used to frequent. One of them was still returned to being open, and I couldn't believe it. Right, I went in there. I was so happy that they opened up again. I got a couple selections right away. I loved my Blu-ray the collection. You can't always depend on streaming services or how the weather is, or sometimes they get glutted and the streaming, the server is not really doing as well as you might anticipate that it should. And it's great to be able to pop in your own selection. Anyway, I got Kurt Russell in the Big Trouble in Little China. Fantastic. I don't understand why somebody would decide to dump this, or they get tired of it. But it's a fun little thing, and they accomplish a lot. There was an episode of Mythbusters on, I think it was not the Learning Channel, but Discovery, where they tried to decide if you could actually uh, use an Uzi to shoot the floor out below you, where you could drop to the lower floor beneath you by shooting a circle through the floor, and then you drop to the floor beneath you to avoid being attacked. Which is, I guess, was a portion of this movie, and they were trying to either support the myth that you could do that or dispel that myth. Bruno, it's a crazy thing. I just happened to see a Bruno, and I thought, I'm familiar with his other feature where he's like a Russian immigrant. I forget what it's called, Borat. So this also starts with B. So I just thought I'd just check out Bruno. I don't really. I think I popped it in, but I didn't really check it out too carefully. We have here Shawshank. Now, who would never? I don't understand. If you got yourself a Blu-ray copy of the Shawshank, why is it that you would decide to dump it into a bin or get rid of it? I'm thinking it's somebody's effects. Somebody couldn't take a lot of their gear and they left the place, and landlords or somebody is throwing it out. That's a decent movie. A lot of good aspects of human nature and things that we understand about people in that. The Shawshank Redemption. It's not bad. What do we have here? Oh yes, this is a product that we have from Mexico. Or yeah, it's not an American product, but it's actually from overseas. It's weird because I guess they don't have the same rules we have here in our country. So a couple of the productions here from one picture house, and then the other is from another entirely different company. Um, the United States, they frown on that. They don't really want different publishers don't want their stuff mixed up with other people's stuff. So you won't see that here. So this is from South America. Mm, The town I work in is highly, what do you call it? We would say, um, it's integrated with different kinds of people from Central America and South America and um, maybe Mexico and things like that. And so this is it's interesting. You got your Silence of the Lambs, Jodie Foster, and then you got your Hannibal. It's called the Hannibal Collection, and I never saw this. I never even heard of it. Red Dragon. It's like a prequel to these two pictures. Um, the Red Dragon is actually a viewable, substantial movie on its own. Doesn't hold up to either one of these two pictures, but as a trilogy, and they want to beef it out a little bit, give Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal something different, a little extra effort. It's nice. It's enjoyable. I can say, once again, that at a thrift store, this stack of Blu-rays might have cost me probably, well, I don't know, $135, something like that, and it was way, way less than that, um, because it's a secondhand, so it's a thrift store, which is a kind of thing that seems to be in the cancel culture lately. What we have is where they don't want anybody to, uh, exchange things that were purchased prior. I think it's a manner of trying to persist with. Um, you know, Actually, they don't want anything that these kinds of tangible discs and sets that you get. They don't really want those. They want you to subscribe to their services and what have you, so that you can, you know, pay your bill every month. And I mean, there's an argument. This is, you've seen one of these things and you're not really enjoy it. You already seen it. That's fine. There's a lot of people that think that you want to see something new all the time. You subscribe to either the cable TV or you get your streaming service. They have many of them. And they feature different things on there. If you'll notice, they have different series that are premiering on different streaming services, and that's that's fun. But it may actually, if these things are good enough to enjoy once, you might want to share it with somebody else. And the best way to share it with somebody else is, I believe, if you actually have just a hard copy of it, and you can just say, "Hey, check this out! It's awesome. I enjoyed it." And it's not really available to be done in that fashion um, by services. So, oh yeah, well, go subscribe to this and enroll in that, and you know, yeah, Hulu has the best, Netflix has some kind of thing I want you to see, and all that. They may either have their own cable TV, and that's what they do, or they have their own two or three services or they're on Apple TV, and that's not what they're doing. So they're not really on IBM kind of transmission things and whatever. So I believe that a lot of these are great, like where you can get yourself. I mean, like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, a being John Malkovich. It's it's an acquired taste. You might want to be John Malkovich someday. This movie will help you provide you with an idea of how that could come about. Soylent Green. If you have a problem with where they're getting Soylent, you know what? Soylent Green might be. It might be people. You never know. It could be people. A movie like Soylent Green will help you with that. Capricorn One. Capricorn One will help you divine in your mind whether you think that the you know what are they telling you? Psycho. You gotta have your Psycho. Gotta have your own copy of Psycho. You can't wait till they put it on, or if some service has it where you can click on Psycho. Like, oh, it's Halloween. You got to see this movie. It's great. I saw it when I was in college. It's called Psycho. It's the best. It's by the same director, a guy named Hitchcock. North by Northwest. Very good movie. These are not Blu-rays though. Oh, speaking of cancel culture, you got your I don't know. They call it Gone with the Wind. It has aspects to it that the new culture can't tolerate. You can't include things in it of that nature. Not a good idea. So I just picked this up on the basis that I may never see one of these again. They took it off of all streaming services about, I don't know, something about a guy named Floyd, George Floyd, something like that. Anyway, we got your wrestler. He's wrestling, and it's very wrestly. Blue Velvet. If you're a fan of Twin Peaks or Lynch, you gotta see this is like a pre-Lynch thing. It's Lynchy, but not quite Twin Peaks as Lynch. It's more of a movie-esque kind of a movie without the real heavy duty uh, Lynch stuff. There's a Pink Floyd band, and I was surprised to see this just floating around. This is a movie I used to watch when I was in sophomore year of high school in California, at the Parkside Theater on Judah Boulevard, Judah Street. It's just I couldn't believe that they would have. I would find a Pompeii on the East Coast, and there we go. It's like now it's a thrift store situation. You might not even see this in a new store. Somebody owned this and decided that it got donated and wound up in a bin, and then you get this like you're going through old other people's stuff from the 80s and 90s and 2000s, and you wind up with something really fantastic. And the last thing I'd say before the 15th minute is Tom Hanks and man, a bevy of other people. This is a Saving Private Ryan, and it's an outrageously patriotic movie that people should check out whenever possible. It's great, and I'm surprised that Blu-rays tend to be able to go beyond your 120 minutes, 160 minutes. This is a DVD, and it seems to have like 3 hours or something on the DVD. So it shows that there was a time prior to Blu-rays that they could actually, put an enormous amount of minutes onto one feature, even without the Blu-ray technology.